Good morning, MAB Elementary. This is mental math for lizards. So I hope all you lizards out there with your brain ready to get strong doing mental math. Remember, you gotta have your paper, your pencil. Mr. T will read you the problem. You understand it, decide what math operation is necessary. Freeze the video. Pause the video, record the problem, find your answer, your solution. Restart the video and you'll see Mr. T has provided you with the solution. Check and see if you got it right, give yourself a check. If you got it wrong, figure out why you got it wrong and correct it, and then move on to the next problem. So here we go. Hay fever, allergies, too much pollen. My apologies for the interruptions. The first kindergarten was in the United States in 1856. Willa Cather, a famous American writer, was born in 1873. How many years after the first kindergarten was she born? So kindergarten started in 1856, and Willa Cather, an American writer, was born in 1873. How many years later was she born? Pause your video. So it's a subtraction problem because we need to know the difference between two dates. Whenever you have two dates and need to know the difference, it's going to be subtraction. The minuend is the big number, 1873. The subtrahend is the smaller number, 1856. It's a subtraction operation. We have an equals line, and make sure you carefully record the units in the unit place, tens in the tens place, hundreds in the hundreds place, simple family, and then units in the thousands place. So let's draw subtraction. Can we take 6 units away from 3 units? We cannot. But I can get 10 units by taking 1 10 and exchanging it for 10 units. 13 units take away 6 is 7. 6 units take away 5, 6 tens take away 5 tens is 1 10. 8 hundreds take away 8 hundreds is 0. Do I need to put a 0 there to hold that place value? I do not. 1 unit thousand take away 1 unit thousand. Do I need to put a 0 there? I do not. So the answer is 17 years. Because remember, whenever you do story problems, you got to have a word in the answer. Now you can always freeze the video on Mr. T's solution and take more time to see where you made mistakes. And that's a good idea to do that. Even though Mr. T's moving on to the next problem, you guys, the great thing about videos is you can freeze it and really study it until you figure out what went wrong. Do that, okay? The first U.S. Girl Scout troop was founded in 1912 in Savannah, Georgia. Joanna joined the Girl Scouts in 1991. How old was the Girl Scout organization when Joanna joined it? Again, got dates, want to know the difference between two dates, so what do you have to do? Got to find the difference means you have to subtract. And your minuend, always a big number. She joined in 1991. And the Scouts were formed in the subtrahend, we need to take it away, 1912. It's a minus subtraction problem, and there's our equals line. Same problem with the units place. Can't take 2 units away from 1 unit, but I can get 10 units by taking 1 10, leaving me with 8 tens. 11 units minus 2 units is 9 units. 8 tens minus 1 10 is 7 tens. 900s take away 900s. Do I need a 0 in that place value? No, I do not. 1 unit 1,000 take away 1 unit 1,000. Do I need a place value 0? I do not. So again, the 79 years is the answer. So if you need to freeze that and look at it, do so. If not, let's move on. By the way, I borrowed Mr. Smith's eraser. I'll be sure to bring it back to him. Elvis Presley, a famous rock and roll star that your mom and dad may know about, certainly your grandpa and grandma know about. So Elvis Presley moved to Memphis, Tennessee with his family when he was 13 years old. And he began his amazing rock and roll career there 6 years later. How old was Elvis when he made his first successful recording? So he was 13, he was 13 when he moved to Memphis, and 6 years later, he became a rock and roll legend. How old was he when he became a rock and roll legend? So again, we know he was 13 when he moved to Memphis, and we're going to move forward 6 years. So rather than subtract as we did in the past, the number's going to get bigger. So we have to add. And these are two add-ins. 13 was when he was 13 years old when he moved to Memphis, and 6 years later he recorded his first big hit. So we have to take 13, add 6 years to it. 3 units and 6 units is 9 units. 1 and nothing in the tens place is 19 years. So he was 19 years old. Give yourself a check if you got it right. That one was pretty easy. You got it wrong, figure out why. During the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner when the flag was still waving after a night of war. This happened in Baltimore Harbor, very near here. How old was the song in 1990? I'll read it again. The War of 1812, Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, our national anthem. How old was the song in 1990? Again, this is one of those dates problems. We're quite often in practical life trying to figure out how long ago something happened, or how long it took for something to happen, or how much time passed between one event and another event. Well, here we know that the question is, in 1990, the question was written. And we know that Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner in 1812. We want to know how many years ago that was, or what's the difference between the date of 1990 and when the Star-Spangled Banner was written. So that's got to be a subtraction. And our subtrahend is 1812. Equals line. Now, can I take 2 units away from 0 units? I cannot. Where can I get some units? I can take 110, leaving me with 8. Exchange it for 10 units. 10 units take away 2 units is 8 units. 8 tens take away 1 10 is 7 tens. 9 hundredths take away 8 hundredths is 100. 1 unit in 1,000 take away 1 unit in 1,000. Do I have to put a 0 there? No. 178 years. So in 1990, it was 178 years after Francis Scott Key wrote the Declaration of the Star-Spangled Banner. One more for you lizards. I hope your brains are feeling strong. Mine is. The school had 646 boxes of cookies to sell. They sold 596. How many does the school still have left to sell? So they had 646 to begin with, and they sold 596. So the 596 are gone. They're taken away. They're subtracted from the minuend, aren't they? That's the subtrahend. And here's our equal sign. So 6 units take away 6 units, 0 units. Can I take away 9 tens from 4 tens? I cannot. Where can I get tens? Come here to the hundredths, leaves me with 5 hundredths, and 100 exchanges for 10 tens. I have 14 tens. 14 tens take away 9 tens, leaves me with 5 tens. 5 hundredths take away 5 hundredths, 0. Do I have to put a 0 to the left side to hold that place value? I do not. So the answer is they have 50 boxes of cookies still left to sell. 50 boxes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be Lizard's Mental Math for today. I hope your brains are feeling strong. I hope you did well. And most importantly, if you made mistakes, I hope you figured out why you made a mistake and fixed it so that next time you'll do even better with that stronger brain. This is Mr. T, Mental Math for Lizards, out.